Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to be talking about an informational session for the upcoming Buffalo Sewer Authority green infrastructure projects and some of those program construction contracts that we have that are going to be coming out. We'll give it another minute or two just to see if there's anybody else that's going to be hopping on real quick, and then we can jump in and get started. All right, so can jump in and start moving forward here. So a few opening remarks. This is an online meeting. Microphones should be muted. You can utilize the chat feature as well if you've got questions, and then with the live Q&A. We are recording this as well, and so it will be posted to the Buffalo Sewer Authority website after the presentation is complete. And we will be sharing the presentation and the recording and then the attendee list as well with the attendees. So agenda today, we'll be beginning with some opening remarks and then go through an overview of the Buffalo Sewer Authority's Rain Check 2.0 program, discuss the green infrastructure practices and some of the upcoming projects for construction, touch a bit on the Queen City Clean Waters projects that are going to be coming out soon as well, and then go through the construction bid requirements, some of the disadvantaged and minority and women-owned business requirements and certifications and resources, and then open it up for any feedback and questions. So the presenters that we're going to have today, we had Rosaline Nogel as well. She's the Principal Sanitary Engineer for Buffalo Sewer Authority. I think she's running a little bit late, so hopefully she'll be able to jump in and join us soon. We also have Catherine Ferraresi. She's the program manager for the Queen City Clean Waters program. And then also myself, Stephanie Alessandrini. I'm the program manager for the green infrastructure side, and I'm with Stantec. So just a disclaimer, this presentation is provided on June 16th, 2026. So if you're viewing this after this date with the online recording, subsequent events could have had a material effect on this information. And by presenting this information, Buffalo Sewer Authority has not undertaken any obligation to update the information beyond the date of the presentation. Data and other information provided are not warranted as to completeness or accuracy and are subject to change without notice. The views, policy, programs, and practices reflected herein are also subject to change without notice, and this presentation is provided for your information and convenience. So the best place to find information on the upcoming opportunities is to go to buffalosewerauthority.org, and you can hover your mouse over the top header, How Can We Help You? And then click on the consultant, contractor, and supplier opportunities. And this is where we'll have the upcoming bid opportunities that are coming out through there that you can see. So we'll jump into a little bit of the program history next. So with the Rain Check 2.0 program is a subset of the Queen City Clean Waters program. So Queen City Clean Waters is the overall Buffalo Sewer Authority program for the implementation of the long-term control plan, and that's what Catherine is managing overall. And so with the Rain Check 2.0 program overview, this is intended to focus on the GI arm of the long-term control plan. And so the overall goal is to manage approximately 570 acres of impervious area by 2034. There was a phase one, which was the Rain Check 1.0 program, kind of focused on the public streets, parking areas, and private properties. We're currently in phase two, and that's the Rain Check 2.0 program. And this focuses on public partnerships, public streets, data-driven, and It's a data-driven program which is focused on 6 priority CSO basins that were selected based off of their impact on the city of Buffalo, looking at disadvantaged areas and communities, looking at rates of what would have the biggest impact overall in the city for implementation of green infrastructure. So with the Environmental Impact Bond, which was received by Buffalo Sewer Authority in 2021, has a goal of managing 200 acres of impervious area by June 2028. And so then we have our 6 priority basins here. The 6 priority basins were identified for implementing GSI and the Rain Check 2.0 program, and you have the different basins located here on this map. So you can see they're located on the downtown area of Buffalo and South Buffalo, and then also on the east side. So they encompass approximately 25% of the city's land area and nearly half of the city's population. They were chosen as they'll have the greatest impact on the water quality and public health in Buffalo by improving basins with high numbers of combined sewer overflow events. So a little bit of timeline, the Rain Check program timeline and where we're at. So in 2004 through 2014, there was a development approval of the long-term control plan. And then in 2015, the launch of the Rain Check 1.0 program. 2018 began the launch of the Rain Check 2.0 program. In 2021, BSA secured the $54 million environmental impact bond funding. In 2023, they began drafting the revised long-term control plan with the optimization of the bridging documents. 2024 was the launch of the EIB planning phase, and then where we're at right now is with the finishing up the design with the GI projects, and we're getting ready to start to release those for bid for construction. And then also the consent judgment has been submitted, and so waiting on the final approvals for that. So then the program packages. So the planning phase had identified approximately 550 GSI practices across the priority sewer basins. So with the goal of managing that 200 acres of impervious area, the packages are split into 14 different packages. And so they're located across those priority basins. And then within there is a Buffalo Public Schools package, the Municipal Housing Authority sites, and then also city parks properties. And so the program management is by Stantec, and then the design is currently being undertaken by AKRF, Wendell, Watts, and Stantec as well. And so within here too, just the note that the BPS, BMHA, and then the parks packages are indicated by the pins within those boundary areas. So then getting into a little bit of information about the green infrastructure practices. There's four main different types of practices that we're proposing within the program. And so these include bioretention basins and swales, stormwater tree trenches, underground storage basins, and stormwater planters. So with the rain garden and bioretention areas, they're going to be designed either as flow-through systems or as infiltration systems, depending on the quality of the soil, of the underlying soils, and also depending on the groundwater table. These are generally going to be located within the parks properties and then also within school properties where there's available space. And the depth for these systems varies between approximately 3 feet and 5 feet, depending on the site-specific conditions. So this is one of the typical details that we have included. Some of the details are undergoing a few revisions now, and so there'll be maybe some minor adjustments that you'll see within the final sets that are released for bid. The other types of systems that we're proposing are the stormwater tree trenches. And so these may have the infiltration option available as well, depending again on the underlying soil conditions. These will generally be located along the right-of-way underneath the sidewalk. They may extend beneath the curb line. On average, they'll be about 3 feet to 5 feet deep and up to 150 feet long. This is an approximation, so depending on the site-specific conditions, there may be some minor changes within the project-specific packages that are released. And for some of these tree trenches as well, there may or may not be the option to include trees within there depending on the existing utilities or depending on the site constraints. In those situations, there may be some that only include the underground storage component with the stone reservoir and don't include trees within those specific areas. That'll be denoted within the individual plans as well. And this is the infiltration trench. Some of these will be the systems, and again, that detail that's designed without the tree pit there included. And so again, these are labeled infiltration trenches. Some of them may infiltrate, some of them may not. In areas where we are concerned about potential for groundwater intrusion, there'll be an impermeable liner, and that will be indicated on the plans as well. Then the other item that we have as well is the underground storage. And so this will be similar to the StormTech SC800 or similar kind of configuration for that underground storage reservoir. On average, these will be about 5 to 10 feet deep. We currently have this proposed on the Hennepin Parks Package 1 design, and there'll be, I believe, a few others where we have that one included as well, which we'll get into a little bit later. And so this is just the traditional underground storage kind of configuration, which will include the isolator row as well, which will be wrapped in the fabric, and then have the manifold with the distribution to the other storm tech chambers surrounded by that stone reservoir. And in these areas where if we're concerned about potential for groundwater intrusion, we will include that impermeable liner as well. There will also be some stormwater planters that are included. This will be primarily within the areas of the parks packages and potentially on the schools or other areas that have available space. And so these will be approximately 4 to 5 feet deep and up to 50 feet long. And then the bioswales as well. So these again will be located in areas that have suitable space available, most likely the Buffalo Public Schools package and potentially the parks packages as well. So located kind of in those grassy areas to help provide some of that conveyance. And so then going through the upcoming Buffalo Sewer Authority green infrastructure projects for 2026 and 2027. We have the listing here of the different right-of-way packages and included the neighborhood as well, where the different proposed packages are approximately located, as well as the proposed number of improvements. And so you can see their packages do vary in size. We have some smaller ones as well as some larger ones, and the estimated date for advertisement for these as well. So these are our current goals of when to get these out to bid. There may be a little bit of a variability here and there, but overall kind of when they're intended to go out. The opinion of probable cost and the range of cost is varying too. We have some that are smaller on the order of magnitude of maybe about 1 million, with some that are ranging up to 10 million for these right-of-way packages. And then the inclusion too of kind of the overall items that we expect to, or that we're proposing within those as well with the different GI practices. On the next page, we have the parks packages and then also the BPS, Buffalo Public Schools, and the Buffalo Municipal Housing Authority package. So for these as well, have a bit of a range. The Parks Package 1, Hennepin Park, had the bid awarded earlier in May 2026 at that probable cost. And then Parks Package 2 and 3 are a little bit assumed to be a little bit lower in the range of like 1 to 2 million for each of those. And then the BPS package and BMHA package are expected to range between that 10 and $20 million range there. So with the BPS package, we are currently sitting, I think this says 19, we're actually at 16 properties as of right now. We were able to optimize some of those designs and then had to remove a couple of schools just due to utility conflicts and other unsuitable site conditions which were encountered during that design process. So with the Buffalo Municipal Housing Authority package that's being designed by AKRF, on this one we're proposing to include the stormwater tree trenches or the underground infiltration trenches. And we're also proposing that underground storage as well. So there's two main sites where we're proposing to do the installations. That's at the Ferry Grider homes and then also the Kenfield Langfield homes. So currently there are approximately 14 stormwater tree trenches that are proposed and approximately 21 underground storage systems. The estimated bid advertisement date will be in Q1 2027 with the goal of construction completion in Q2 of 2028. That includes the required third-party verification as well, which will be required for the environmental impact bond funding, and that will also be the main source of funding for the project. The anticipated drainage area or impervious area that will be managed is approximately 41.6 acres, and the estimated construction costs are in the order of 10 to 15 million. Then we have the Buffalo Public Schools package that's being designed by Stantec. This will take place in approximately 16 Buffalo Public School properties. And it'll be approximately 36 total systems, including 5 bioretention basins, 7 stormwater tree trenches, 1 bioswale, and then 23 underground storage systems. The bid advertisement date for this is estimated to be in the Q3 of 2026, with the goal of construction completion by early 2028. Third-party verification will need to be completed prior to Q2 of 2028 per the requirements for the funding source of the environmental impact bond. The anticipated drainage area is approximately 44.5 acres, and the estimated construction cost is approximately 15 to 20 million. Then there's right-of-way package 1 by Stantec. This is located within the right-of-way in the Maston Park, Hamlin Park, and Parkside neighborhoods. There's approximately 20 subsurface stormwater trenches that are included, and so will include a combination of trenches that include the trees, so the stormwater tree trenches, some of the infiltration trenches, and some of these, a good portion, I believe, are expected to not infiltrate at all. So the estimated bid advertisement date is Q4 of 2026, with a construction completion date goal of Q1 2028. This will include a combination of funding from the Environmental Impact Bond and then the Environmental Facilities Corporation Green Resiliency Grant funding that was awarded as well. And so this package will need to comply with those grant funding requirements. The anticipated drainage area is approximately 7 acres, and the estimated construction cost ranges from approximately 3 million to 5 million. Then for right-of-way package 2, this one is also being designed by Stantec. This is located within the right-of-way area in the Delavan Grider and the MLK Park neighborhoods. This includes the stormwater tree trenches and then also the bioretention basin. So there's 1 proposed bioretention basin and then 16 of those subsurface stormwater tree trenches. And again, it's a combination of both the trenches that may be able to infiltrate, those that won't be, and then trees and non-trees. This will be identified within the bid documents when they're released. The estimated bid advertisement date is Q4 2026. The estimated construction completion date is the Q1 of 2028. This package also includes the Green Resiliency Grant funding and will need to comply with those requirements as well as the Environmental Impact Bond funding. And the anticipated drainage area is approximately 4.4 acres. The estimated construction costs range on the order of 1 million to approximately 2 million. Then there's right-of-way package 3. This is being designed by Wendell and consists predominantly of stormwater tree trenches and those underground infiltration trenches. Right-of-way package 3 is located within the right-of-way within the Schiller Park, Genesee Moselle, MLK Park, and Kenfield neighborhoods. The estimated bid advertisement date for this is Q4 of 2026, with the estimated construction completion date of Q2 of 2028. This will only include the environmental impact bond funding. At this point in time, there's no associated grant funding with this project. The anticipated drainage area is 14.3 acres, and the construction costs are estimated at about 5 to 10 million. Right-of-way package 4 will be designed by Stantec. This will be located within the right-of-way area in the University Heights and Kensington Bailey neighborhoods. This package will consist predominantly of stormwater tree trenches, and again, that will include the combination of the trenches which have trees, which do not have trees, and which are either infiltrating or not infiltrating. Estimating as well to have the bid advertisement date by Q4 2026, with the estimated construction completion date by Q1 2028. The funding source for this will be through the Environmental Impact Bond, and if needed, will also include the Green Resiliency Grant funding. It's to be determined if it will be the additional practices from this package will need to be included for the grant funding requirements. So there is a possibility that this package or portions may need to comply with those grant funding requirements. And then right-of-way package 5 will be designed by Wendell. This is located within the right-of-way of the Fillmore Leroy, Kensington Bailey, and the Kenfield neighborhoods. There are approximately 28 stormwater tree trenches within the design area. The estimated bid advertisement date is Q4 2026, with the estimated construction completion date by Q1 of 2028. The funding source for this will be through the Environmental Impact Fund. The anticipated drainage area is approximately 9.7 acres, and the estimated construction costs are in the order of $3 to $5 million. And there's right-of-way package 6, which is also being designed by Wendell. This is located within the right-of-way in the Kensington Bailey neighborhood. There are approximately 45 stormwater tree trenches that are proposed, with the bid advertisement date expected within Q4 2026. The anticipated construction completion date is by Q1 2028. The funding source will be through the Environmental Impact Bond. Anticipated drainage area is approximately 11.3 acres, and the anticipated construction costs are $3 to $5 million. Then right-of-way package 7 will be designed by Watts. That's going to be located within the Broadway Fillmore, MLK Park, Genesee Moselle, and Schiller Park neighborhoods as well. This will include approximately 40 stormwater tree trenches. The bid advertisement date is Q1 2027, with an estimated completion date for construction by Q1 2028. The funding source will be through the Environmental Impact Bond. The anticipated drainage area is approximately 9.7 acres, and the anticipated construction costs are approximately $5 to $10 million. Then right-of-way package 8 will be designed by Stantec, and that is located within the right-of-way of the Broadway Fillmore neighborhood. There are approximately 29 stormwater tree trenches, and the estimated bid advertisement date for this is Q4 2026. The estimated construction completion date is the end of 2027. The funding for this will be through the Environmental Impact Bond. The anticipated drainage area is approximately 7.5 acres, and the estimated construction costs vary from about $5 to $10 million. And then right-of-way package 9 will also be designed by Stantec. This is located within the right-of-way of the Lovejoy, Broadway Fillmore, and the Seneca Babcock neighborhoods. This includes approximately 27 stormwater tree trenches, with the estimated bid advertisement date of Q1 2027. The estimated construction completion date is Q1 2028. The funding source for this will be through the Environmental Impact Bond. The anticipated drainage area will be approximately 7.1 acres, and the estimated construction costs will be on the order of $3 to $5 million. I removed Parks Package 1 since that one had already gone out to bid and that bid was awarded. That was awarded to, I believe, Destro Brothers. Then there's Parks Package 2, which is currently under design by Watts. This is located within the MLK Junior Park, the Genesee Gateway Park, Eddie Dawson Park, and within the Lincoln Playground, as we've shown here within the screenshot on the right. These packages will include approximately 10 stormwater tree trenches and 3 rain gardens. The bid advertisement date for these are expected in Q4 2026, with the required construction completion date by Q1 2028. The funding source for this package will be through the Green Resiliency Grant through the Environmental Facilities Corporation, and so construction will need to comply with those requirements. The anticipated drainage area will be approximately 3.6 acres, and the estimated construction costs will be on the order of 1 to 2 million. And then Parks Package 3 is also being designed by Watts as well. This will include Schiller Park, Hank Noack Park, and Mary Jane Sloan Park. There are approximately 8 underground storage systems that are proposed. The bid advertisement date is expected by Q4 2026, with a construction completion date of Q1 2028. The funding source for this will be primarily from the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation Green Resiliency Grant funding, and so it will need to comply with those EFC requirements and with some supplemental funding from the Environmental Impact Fund as needed. The anticipated drainage area will be approximately 4.1 acres, and the estimated construction costs will be on the order of 1 to 2 million. So that wraps up the proposed green infrastructure projects. Now I'll turn it over to Catherine to discuss the upcoming gray water infrastructure projects.
Thanks, Stephanie. Welcome and thank you for joining us. I'm Catherine Faraci, the Program Manager for Buffalo Sewer Authority's Capital Improvement Plan Program. I'm joined today by 2 members from JM Davidson Engineering, Jamie Davidson and Taylor Brown. They are representing members of the program management team and are also the design engineers for the 2 projects that I'll go through this afternoon. This afternoon, I'll provide updates on 2 major Queen City Clean Waters projects that are scheduled to advance to construction by the end of this calendar year. These projects represent important milestones in the implementation of Buffalo Sewer Authority's long-term control plan. Since the original LTCP was developed, BSA has completed quite a bit of additional work, additional planning, hydraulic modeling, and alternatives evaluations to better understand how to achieve the water quality goals associated with the long-term control plan. As a result, the program has evolved from a collection of individual projects to a more integrated system-wide strategy focused on maximizing overflow reduction and environmental benefit. BSA recently submitted an amended long-term control plan to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation for review and approval. Following DEC approval, the updated LTCP will be made available to the public and will serve as the roadmap for the Queen City Clean Waters program and investments across the city of Buffalo. This afternoon's presentation will take an early look at 2 of those projects that are helping advance that future program forward today. We appreciate your interest and involvement as BSA continues to invest in infrastructure that will benefit Buffalo's communities and waterways for decades to come. Next slide, please, or do I have control of? Next slide.
I think either way, I think you can request controller. I can run it for you.
Let me take control. There we go. Am I showing Colorado Ave?
Yes.
Thank you. With that, we'll begin with the Colorado Avenue Sewer Point Patrol 337 Modification Project. This project is located near the intersection of Colorado Avenue and Scajaquada Creek. The Sewer Patrol Point 337 overflows to tributary CSO 53, which is the Scajaquada drain outlet to Scajaquada Creek in Forest Lawn Cemetery. That's a lot of Scajaquadas. This work is a critical component of the Scajaquada tunnel system and will help direct wet weather flows into the tunnel for storage and treatment at the wastewater treatment facility. Major improvements for this project include construction of a new diversion chamber at SPP 337, installation of a new 55-foot deep vortex-style drop shaft, and a new connection to that tunnel. This project will also convert the existing drop shaft into a ventilation structure. The project involves temporary relocation of the access road to maintain vehicle access to the old American Axle property during construction. Due to the proximity of this site to the brownfield, any soil removed from this location will be properly disposed of in a landfill. Once completed, the site will be restored, and these improvements will increase the system's ability to capture and manage combined sewer flows that would otherwise reach local waterways. This project is already released for bid, with bid opening anticipated for July 9th of 2026. Construction is expected to begin following contract award and notice to proceed. The anticipated notice to proceed is the end of December of this calendar year, with construction anticipating to start in spring of 2027. Construction is anticipated to finish by the end of December 31st, 2028. This figure illustrates how the new infrastructure will fit into the existing site. The diversion chamber will intercept flows and direct them into the new drop shaft. From there, the flows will be conveyed through a new piped connection to the Skedaquada tunnel. While much of the infrastructure is underground, construction will require temporary work areas, access roads, and staging locations. BSA and its contractors will work to minimize impacts to nearby residents and businesses whenever possible. Upon completion, the site will be restored. The next project is the Louisiana Street Sewer Patrol Point 137 modifications and inline storage. This project is located along Louisiana Street between South Street and Republic Street. Sewer Patrol Point 137 overflows to CSO 64, which discharges to the Ohio Drain and ultimately the Buffalo River. The primary purpose of this project is to create additional inline storage within the existing sewer system. The project consists of two new 60-inch reinforced concrete pipes that will be installed to temporarily store wet weather flows during storm events. The two new larger 60-inch diameter sewers will replace the existing 24-inch diameter sewer upstream of SPP 137. Once the wet weather event has ended, the store flow is sent to treatment at the wastewater treatment plant facility. Water collected in the ILS system should drain within about 24 hours, and we do not anticipate odors to be present from the stored water. This project also involves modifications at SPP 137, including removing the underflow orifice pipe and raising the orifice by about 1.5 feet. This project also includes replacement of aging drainage infrastructure, including catch basins, sewers, and service laterals within the project limits. These improvements will increase system reliability while helping reduce combined sewer overflow events. Design for this project is currently advancing toward construction, with bidding anticipated in late 2026 and contract award anticipated in early 2027. Construction is anticipated to start in the fall of 2027 or spring of 2028 and is anticipated to be completed by June 30th, 2029. This graphic shows the planned alignment of the new inline storage facilities. The twin storage pipes will be installed beneath Louisiana Street and connected to the existing sewer network. During major rain events, these pipes will temporarily store excess flow and help prevent overflows. Construction will occur primarily within the roadway corridor and will require traffic management and temporary access modifications. Residents and businesses will receive advance notice regarding construction activities and anticipated impacts. And following construction, all disturbed areas will be restored. As these projects move forward toward construction, BSA will continue to provide updates and coordinate with residents, businesses, and stakeholders regarding schedules and anticipated impacts. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about these two upcoming projects under the Queen City Clean Waters Program. We also look forward to sharing the updated long-term control plan with the public once it is approved by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. Your feedback and participation are valuable as we continue to advance these important improvements throughout the city. My team of design engineers from J.M. Davidson would be happy to answer any questions you may have about either of these projects. Are there any questions at this time? Okay. I'll stay on at the end of the presentation as well. With that, I'll hand it back over to Rosie to go through the construction bid requirements.
Hi, this is Rosaline Noble with the Buffalo Sewer Authority, Principal Sanitary Engineer. Go ahead through those requirements. So in general, these are the types of services that we're looking for. In general, some of these services should be subcontracted to ensure that we meet MWBE and DBE requirements, which will be unique to each project, but we are looking for contractors, both large and small, to be part of our overall package. In general, we're looking in order to accept the bids. We're looking for the bid sheets to be filled out in full, the EEO form to be filled and signed, tax exemption certificate. That's something that's provided by Buffalo Sewer Authority to the contractors, but it needs to be acknowledged. Non-inclusive bidding certification. Again, we do need to be sure that those bids that are put together independently from one general contractor to another. There are insurances required. Please, when participating in a bid, be sure to read the insurance requirements in full. Some of the insurances that Buffalo Sewer and the City of Buffalo require are extensive. We are looking for a list of subcontractors, and that will include those that are DBE, MWBE, and SDVOB, as well as those that are not. Additionally, we do require bid bond, performance bond, and maintenance bond on all contracts. And there are liquidated damages. These are being in part driven by that long-term control plan and compliance needs that we need to ensure that substantial completion is occurring on time on our contracts. So we will be, this is the typical bid timeline. There is likely to be we advertise for about 5 weeks, open, and then we will be moving forward with the contract award and then notice to proceed. And again, did mention before, historically underrepresented firms. We are looking to build capacity within the City of Buffalo, particularly with those underrepresented groups, but also just broadly within the City of Buffalo, while continuing to have relationships with longstanding and traditional businesses. We see this as an opportunity not just for these underrepresented groups in particular, but for small businesses more broadly to grow in the City of Buffalo. If there's, for those that have a DBE goal, it is 20%. For the MWBE goal is 30%. We do understand that there is ongoing evolution of the DBE process, and this is out of the hands both of New York State and the Buffalo Sewer Authority right now. However, the MWBE goals are not going anywhere, and for those projects that still have DBE goals, we will continue to be looking for compliance with the DBE process. That includes ensuring that until or unless you have fully reached that goal, that you are continuing to reach out to those DBEs that are still available. And again, we do understand that this is an evolving process with DBE, but again, MWBE is fully managed at the state level and remains fully in place. So again, more information of DBE versus MWBE. Much of our work in the post-COVID era did get tagged for DBE requirements. And we are seeing that start to swing more towards the MWBE again, but please be aware as you're looking at each package what those specific goals are. And these are resources available for MWBE, DBE, and SDVOB. We again are looking to continue to grow all small businesses in the city of Buffalo. We are looking for there to be more city workers and city firms involved in our work. And we are looking especially for those that have been left out of the process in the past. Now we're on a Q&A. And this is the Buffalo Sewer Authority's website. Please always go to buffalosewer.org first if you have any questions about what we've got going on. For the rain check, green infrastructure in particular, we do have our interactive rain check website. That website is particular to those green infrastructure projects. And here's all of our contact information. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Stephanie.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like I've got one question here. Is there a date the revised long-term control plan is anticipated to be approved by DEC? Catherine, I'll turn that one over to you.
There is not a date that we are currently targeting, but we do know from folks at DEC that this is currently under review.
You're welcome. All right, maybe give it another minute or two, see if any other questions come through here. Otherwise, if not, thank you everybody for attending today. We'll work with Buffalo Sewer Authority and get this up on their website, and we've got their social channels here as well. So other ways that you can connect and keep in the know of what's going on. All right. Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.